Hello and welcome to NDTV. I'm Ankit Tyagi. Now, America was woken up to the aftermath in the assassination bid, in fact, on Donald Trump, in what is being seen as the biggest inflection point in United States political history in recent times. Former U.S. President Donald Trump survived an assassination bid during a rally in Pennsylvania. A bullet grazed past Trump's right ear while he was on stage. Within moments, United States Security Service agents whisked him off the stage and away from the rally venue. Donald Trump is safe, and on his social media page, Truth Social, has written, "Now more than ever, America needs to stand united." US President Joe Biden has also called this a sick assassination attempt.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Gunshots rising out, former President Donald Trump ducking, Secret Service running to the stage. The 45th President of America narrowly escaped an assassination bid 4 months short of the D-Day. Hit in the ear by the assassin's bullet, Donald Trump rose amid the chaos, pumping his wrist, shouting to the crowd as he is rushed away.
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump.
Chaotic scenes at Trump's rally in Pennsylvania after a 20-year-old shot at the Republican president candidate. The shooter, identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, was camping on a rooftop with an AR-15 rifle when he was shot and killed by Secret Service snipers on the spot. A spectator was also killed in the attack, while 2 others were injured. Eyewitnesses present at the rally recount horrors of the bloody event. One attendee even saw the shooter run from roof to roof.
We're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle.
And then all of a sudden you can hear like ricochets, almost like they were bouncing off of the bleachers, like bullets or whatever it was, hitting bleachers. And then everybody dropped, and Trump dropped also.
Donald Trump whisked away from the Butler rally and was taken away to the hospital, from where he left for his home in the New Jersey. Trump, now safe and at home, shared an update on Truth Social with the message that it is more important now than ever that we stay united. The assassination bid and the grave security lapse have put the Secret Service under scanner. The House Oversight Committee has summoned the director of the Secret Service, saying that the Americans demand answers. The chief will also testify before the House of Republicans on June 22nd. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Meanwhile, the governor of Pennsylvania also came out with a statement, and he also identified the other man, apart from the shooter, who died in this shootout.
I've just spent time speaking to the families, and I want to offer my prayers and the prayers of all 13 million Pennsylvanians for the 2 individuals who are being treated at this time. We lost a fellow Pennsylvanian last night, Corey Comparator. I just spoke to Corey's wife and Corey's 2 daughters. Corey was a girl dad. Corey was a firefighter. Corey went to church every Sunday. Corey loved his community, and most especially, Corey loved his family. Corey was an avid supporter of the former president and was so excited to be there last night with him in the community. I asked Corey's wife if it would be okay for me to share that we spoke. She said yes. She also asked that I share with all of you that Corey died a hero, that Corey dove on his family to protect them last night at this rally. Corey was the very best of us. May his memory be a blessing. Last night was shocking for this community and for this Commonwealth. and I know for this country. Political disagreements can never, ever be addressed through violence.
In fact, NDTV's Nick Harper sent us a report from Washington, D.C. My colleague Tonima Biswa spoke to him.
Nick, we saw the Pennsylvania governor actually coming out. He was asked questions about the investigation, but at this point in time, of course, he chose to stay silent on it, but largely telling the people there about the status of those two injured who were present at the rally, and of course talking about the deceased person there who had attended that rally. But very important now, in fact, in the aftermath of that assassination bid, for the authorities to think about the next steps forward in terms of the rest of the campaign, as we have been talking about. We have seen Donald Trump there giving out two statements, but what are reports suggesting in terms of the Milwaukee event? This is, of course, it stays scheduled as we spoke earlier, but any kind of immediate changes that the Republican camp is looking at in order to ensure more security and also maybe tone down the scale of it in terms of the number of people who would attend such event, any information coming through on that front?
Yeah, just to pick up on a couple of things that Josh Shapiro, the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania, said there. He didn't know much about the investigation, but he did talk about political discourse at this time, really urging what we're hearing from both Democrats and Republicans, that it's time to turn the temperature down, to try and find a way to unify, even though those political differences remain in the United States. Now, in terms of the convention in Milwaukee, there is absolutely no suggestion that the Republicans or Donald Trump are planning to scale it back. Donald Trump has said that he is going, that he's looking forward to go. There will be about 50,000 Republicans there as well in the city of Milwaukee. We're told there will also be about 40 different law enforcement agencies there, working to keep everyone on site safe. One representative, a congressman from Arkansas, was asked earlier whether he was worried about going. He said he felt the convention would be the safest place on earth. And in terms of Donald Trump, it seems that he not only wants to push ahead with Milwaukee, that he wants to go and give his headline speech, he wants to go and announce his vice presidential pick, but he also wants to continue in the capacity we've seen him in the past, appearing before these large crowds, going to rallies. He does love a big rally where he can feed off the crowd, to speak to the people, even though it comes with that inherent risk, as we saw in Pennsylvania yesterday. No plans from him to reduce what he's doing or cancel events or scale back in any way, shape or form the type of political campaigning we've seen from him.
Meanwhile, this assassination attempt on Donald Trump, in fact, has drawn condemnation from across the globe. World leaders have spoken about this. Listen in.
Take a look at what happened.
Minutes after former US President Donald Trump was shot, leaders from across the world expressed their shock and concern over the incident. Leaders of India, China and Europe condemned the attack, as several expressed fear about the rise in political violence.
The idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it.
Former US President Barack Obama also condemned the incident, saying there is absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. British politicians, including newly elected PM Keir Starmer, condemned the assassination and wished Trump well. Reform UK leader and MP Nigel Farage, who has attended several rallies in the United States in support of Trump, said he would have been attending the rally had he not been elected as Member of Parliament from Clacton. Farage has said he will, however, be attending the Republican convention on 15 July to show his support.
Well, I was very upset when I heard the news late last night. I mean, Donald Trump has survived by miracle, frankly, but one innocent man is dead. Two are fighting for their lives in hospital. So it's horrible, and yet somehow not surprising.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky called the assassination attempt as heinous crime and among the serious challenges global democracies are facing right now.
Замах на життя Дональда Трампа – жахливий злочин, який можна тільки засуджувати і який демонструє, наскільки серйозні виклики глобально зараз перед демократією. Насильство в жодній формі і ніде абсолютно не повинно взяти гору. Я впевнений, Америка гідно пройде цей виклик. Я бажаю якнайшвидшого відновлення пану Трампу, сил, підтримки усім, хто постраждав. Хай кожен злий умисел зазнає невдач. І хай усі, хто може повертати безпеку, дійсно роблять це.
A statement released by a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson revealed that China is following the shooting incident. It said that President Xi Jinping has expressed sympathies to former President Donald Trump. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also strongly condemned the assassination attempt, asserting that violence has no place in politics and democracy. In a statement released on social media platform Truth Social, Donald Trump has urged Americans to stand united. The former president has also said he looks forward to speaking from Wisconsin, where the Republican National Convention will be held on 15 July. With Mohammad Ghazali, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Meanwhile, the ghost of presidential assassination has returned to the United States of America. In a chilling reminder of political violence in the United States, there has been 7 failed attempts on United States presidents and former presidents, including on Donald Trump. There have been presidents in the United States, those who have also lost their life, starting with Abraham Lincoln and, of course, the famous JFK killing.
Shot by John Wilkes Booth, Abraham Lincoln was the first U.S. president to be assassinated. Near the end of the American Civil War, Lincoln's assassination is believed to be a part of the larger political conspiracy intended by Booth to revive the Confederate cause. Less than 4 months into his presidency, James Andrew Garfield was assassinated by Charles J. Getty. Getty had expected a reward in return for what he considered valuable contributions to the latter's campaign, which went unrealized. Getty's dissatisfaction over the same allegedly led to him shooting President Andrew Garfield. The 25th President of the United States, William McKinley, was also the third U.S. President to be assassinated in 1901. McKinley was shot twice in the abdomen by Leon Czolgosz, an anarchist who had lost his job in the Great Panic of 1893. Believing McKinley to be a symbol of oppression, Czolgosz became convinced that it was his duty as an anarchist to kill him. It was upon McKinley's assassination that the Secret Service was charged with the responsibility of protecting the president by Congress in 1901. Giuseppe Zangara, in an attempt to kill President Franklin Delano Roosevelt during a rally, ended up killing the then mayor of Chicago, Anton Cermak, and injuring 5 others. Arguably the most shocking and recent assassination was that of U.S. President John Kennedy in Dallas in 1963. While Lee Harvey Oswald was held responsible for Kennedy's killing, conspiracy theories surrounding Kennedy's death ranged dime a dozen, and the event has remained fresh in popular media around the world. On March 30, 1981, President of the United States Ronald Reagan was shot and wounded by John Hinckley Jr. in Washington, D.C. as he was returning to his limousine after a speaking engagement. While President Reagan survived the attempt on his life after a brief stint in the hospital, Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy, a D.C. police officer, and White House Press Secretary James Brady were also wounded. All 3 survived, but Brady had brain damage and was permanently disabled. Hinckley was found not guilty by reason of insanity on charges of attempting to assassinate the president.
Slipping into a short break at this moment. News and updates on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu water wars continue to in fact simmer. There is new tension once again over Kaveri River water sharing between the 2 states. Despite a normal monsoon, Karnataka claims deficit in the 4 main reservoirs, which means it cannot release its stipulated share of water to Tamil Nadu this month.
The all-party meeting was taken place in which D.K. Shivkumar, who is a Deputy Chief Minister of the state and also in charge of the water resources, and other my colleagues were cabinet ministers in the cabinet, and Mr. Ashok was present. They all spoke and opined that we should not release water and we have to prepare an appeal before the Kaveri Water Management Authority.
So what are your thoughts on the Kaveri demand that has been made by the Tamil Nadu state?
Well, we are very clearly, as per the order, the Supreme Court order, required to release around 1 TMC of water every day. So the government is yet to take a decision on what has to be done. The outcome of this meeting, obviously, they will make clear to you all. I think we are forced to be reliant on a prediction of rainfall while they'll be getting water, whether the rainfall comes or not, which seems to me a little unfair. In view of this, I think we need to take a long-term solution to this matter so that we are all satisfied, given when there is a distress situation. When there's plenty, of course, there's no problem.
Are you in for appealing before the regulatory authority so that...
We have jointly decided they are going to definitely appeal. That has been, I think, echoed by all sides of every single party.
It has always been a contentious issue when it comes to the Kaveri. Do you see any kind of a long-term solution to this?
There certainly is a long-term solution. We need different formulas for different situations regarding how the rainfall occurs. I think that has to be sat down, and we need to present these different ideas for when different rainfall situations occur. Given the fact that we are an upper riparian state and they are a lower riparian state, the fact that we, yes, get all the water, but it flows all towards them. So all of these factors need to be taken into account, and I think we need a long-term solution in this regard.
Thank you so much for that. At the all-party meeting that was scheduled today, two decisions that they arrived at. And this was jointly attended by all of them, from the BJP, the JDS, as well as the Congress. I'm talking about some of the most important leaders who are present there, like R. Ashok, the leader of opposition, of course, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, as well as the Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar, some of the JDS MLCs as well, Union Minister, former Union Minister Sadananda Gowda, who was also present at the meeting, but only for a short period of time. But all of them remaining in sync with two decisions that were taken. One is to release around 8,000 cusecs of water from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu on a per day basis, as against 11,500 cusecs, which is the 1 TMC demand that is made by Tamil Nadu there. And they have also said that if there is more rain, then they would release more water, and if there is less, they would rethink the strategy. But as of now, the last 2 days, there's been more water at the Kabini Reservoir, which falls in the Kaveri Basin, and 20,000 cusecs of water have been released per day in the last 2 days. And today, 13,000 cusecs have flowed from the Kabini Reservoir to Tamil Nadu. Now, when you talk of all the 4 reservoirs falling in the Kaveri Basin, then the average amount of water stands at around 63%, and that is why it makes it very difficult for Karnataka to release water as per the demand that is being laid out. And due to which, the second decision that they have taken is to file an appeal before the CWMA. Now, the steps that will be taken towards that is yet to be laid out, and also the reaction that we would get from Tamil Nadu is also something that needs to be closely watched. But all of them are here for one thing, and that is to find a long-term solution with different formulas to arrive at, keeping in mind the different kinds of rain situations both in Karnataka as well as Tamil Nadu. Will that be arrived at in a short period of time or not is also something that needs to be monitored. Back to you.
Major controversy in a school in the national capital, DPS Dwarka, in fact, where more than 20 students are allegedly not being allowed inside the classrooms since the school resumed after summer vacation on July 1st. Parents claim the action followed their refusal to pay the revised fee, which they say was increased without following Directorate of Education norms. They alleged their children are being segregated and their names have been struck off the rolls. It has led to a political blame game as well in the national capital. BJP, in fact, blaming the Education Minister Atishi and saying that she did not acknowledge the matter. Meanwhile, the Education Minister has now responded and has said action will be taken.
not going to comply with the Directorate of Education orders of rejecting our fee hike proposal. The action has not been taken by the DOE till that their children are getting action will be taken.
Kamaljeet Sehrawat with us, ma'am. First of all, welcome on NDTV. My first question to you is, ma'am, कि हम देख रहे हैं कि जो DPS द्वारका के जो पेरेंट्स हैं वो लगातार ये कह रहे हैं कि जब डायरेक्टरेट ऑफ एजुकेशन ने फी रिजेक्शन का जो प्रपोजल है वो रिजेक्ट कर दिया था, लेकिन उसके बाद भी लगातार उनको प्रेशर किया जा रहा है बाय द स्कूल अथॉरिटीज़ टू पे जो मनमानी फीस है, और जब वो नहीं कर रहे हैं तो इसका सीधा सीधा असर उनके बच्चों पर पड़ रहा है। वो कह रहे हैं कि उनके बच्चों को लाइब्रेरी में लॉक कर दिया जा रहा है, उन्हें वॉशरूम नहीं जाने दिया जा रहा है। मैम, आप वहाँ से सांसद हैं, आप इस पूरे मुद्दे को कैसे देखते हैं और कैसे उठाएंगे?
ये मुद्दा पिछले कुछ दिनों में बहुत गंभीर हुआ है और दिल्ली की शिक्षा मंत्री, जो कि ट्वीट पे और व्हाट्सएप पे ज़्यादा रहती हैं, अपनी हर बात को कहने में विश्वास रखती हैं, उन्होंने भी इस बात को अभी तक संज्ञान नहीं लिया है। दिल्ली का स्कूल्स का जो शिक्षा मॉडल है उसको बार बार क्लेम करते हैं, लेकिन डीओई का ऑर्डर, मतलब दिल्ली सरकार का ऑर्डर, दिल्ली सरकार के ऑर्डर का अगर कंप्लायंस नहीं हो रहा है तो इसके लिए कौन जिम्मेवार है? शिक्षा मंत्री जो कि वादा करती हैं, दावा करती हैं कि हम बेहतर शिक्षा दे रहे हैं, आज फीस देने के बाद भी उनके बच्चों को सफ़र करना पड़ रहा है। फीस तो बच्चे दे ही रहे हैं ना। हाइक का जो क्वेश्चन है वो डीओई और स्कूल के अंदर एक क्वेश्चन मार्क है, तो जो क्वेश्चन मार्क है उसको जल्दी से जल्दी रिजॉल्व करना चाहिए। इसमें पेरेंट्स और बच्चों के लिए जो हरासमेंट है उसके लिए दिल्ली सरकार की शिक्षा मंत्री जिम्मेवार हैं। कहीं वो दूर नहीं बैठी हैं, दिल्ली के अंदर हैं, कई महीनों से बच्चे सफ़र कर रहे हैं। तो आतिशी जी को चाहिए कि वो इस मामले के अंदर डीओई के ऑर्डर को जो भी एक्शन होना उसको करवाएं और पेरेंट्स और बच्चों को राहत दिलाएं। पेरेंट्स मुझसे पहले मिले हैं, मैं अभी फिर से उनको मिलकर और इस बात को देखती हूँ कि इसको कैसे सॉल्व किया जा सकता है। लेकिन दिल्ली सरकार की शिक्षा मंत्री आतिशी जी को ये ध्यान देना चाहिए कि ये पेरेंट्स और ये बच्चे उनकी तरफ देख रहे हैं और उनकी कारण ही ये सिचुएशन आज पैदा हुई है।